Wanna fuck with me? Still claiming DPG. To the day I did I-E. Hey ho, hey ho, hey hoes. You don't wanna fuck with me? What's happening, people? How you doing? This morning, evening, afternoon. But the NFL news, excuse me, but it is picking up some interesting things coming out of the league right now. You have a couple of signings. I think they're still working on some things, but for what I understand, it looks as though that Klint Kubiak will be the head coach for the, I like to say Oakland Raiders, but Las Vegas Raiders. I think they are closing in on a deal there. I like it. They got a good running back, obviously. Um, I think Fernando, in my opinion, are probably going to be end up being the number one pick for the Raiders. It's a good deal. So not only do they have a quarterback, but they have, they have a running back, and they probably have their running game. They go with the running game, quarterback, a mobile quarterback, move around in the pocket. Fernando Mendoza is more than likely will be the first player taken, barring any setbacks or any type of differences or changes in the in the off season, whether it's a trade. They feel as though that they can get another quarterback at later in the draft, or they don't feel as though that Fernando may not be that guy. But hey, they are hiring. Is closing in on the deal for Klint Kubiak to be the head coach for the Las Vegas. Also, there's some rumors out there that Mike LaFleur is expected to start picking up some heat as far as him being the head coach for the Cardinals. It looks as though that he is one of those guys that will be he will be considered, or like I said, it's all of this is pretty much, I want to say a speculation, but it's heating up and saying that Mike LaFleur could be Cardinals. Let's say obviously Ari Marov is reporting that the Cardinals are planning to hire offensive coordinator. The Rams offensive coordinator is Mike LaFleur as the head coach. Also, Klint Kubiak. The plan is to hire their Klint Kubiak, who's the current offensive coordinator for the Seattle Seahawks. They plan to hire him, and the 49ers plan on hiring the Atlanta Falcons former head coach and Raheem Morris as a defensive coordinator. Okay. I think that's funny and it's all right, but if you guys have some comments, some questions right now, I will get to them. I got about 20 minutes. I think I got about 20 minutes. We'll go in depth. We have a show at 5 o'clock, but I thought I'd spend a good 10, 20 minutes, you guys, him. But that's the news. That is the news that's going around right now. Anybody that's new to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, man. There's NFL content all across. I throw some wrestling in there. So if you guys are some wrestling fans, obviously we are Atlanta Falcons over here. Atlanta Falcons. I am an Atlanta Falcons fans. And we have a number of live shows where we just talk about everything around the league, including our Atlanta Falcons. We got I Am Drip, what's going in there? Like I said, so Money, what's good? We said Kubiak wants to coach. Yeah, I think, Sam kind of said it. The Dunn said it also. A lot of these guys, the Klint Kubiak, those guys just want an opportunity where they for sure is going to get a real, and everything has to be, like, I think Klint Kubiak going to the Raiders, I actually like that. Obviously they got the running back from I thought he had a pretty good year. The running back, good God Almighty, what's the dude's name? The Raiders running back, good God Almighty, right off the tip of my head. But I think this is actually a good. I think this is a good deal. You gotta they gotta get your Gentry. I don't know why I want to say. I want to say something else. But I'm actually researching at the same time, trying to get. So forgive me. I'm actually on Twitter. But you got Ashton Gentry. I think he rushed for like 800 yards. I thought he could have had a better year, to be honest. I like him as a running back. Combined with the inside-outside zone running scheme, they're going to improve the offensive line, in my opinion. So you got Gentry with Klint, Kubiak, and their play action running game. I think it's a good deal for them. Okay, we got but yeah, they're saying that Mike LaFleur, he's supposed to get in. We know. I thought that the Rams, I thought that their offense in particular, I love how they mixed their formations. And for me, that's something that I thought the Atlanta Falcons did not do enough of. And quite a few teams in the league, they did not mix a lot of formations. Obviously, with the Atlanta Falcons, they fell in love, and Zach Robinson and Raheem Morris, they fell in love with the pistol formation. And I would tell people all the time, it's not necessarily the feel, the position in itself, is that their reluctance to mix formations. You have to mix formations. You have to mix plays in the NFL, because with these defenses and these guys, these athletes, like, they're going to catch on to things. So I like it. I like this for the Raiders. I think they're heading to the right. They ran on the right road. Obviously, with a guy like, as a minority owner in Tom Brady, they got good. I love this pick for them. Also, Mike LaFleur, again, if this holds up, I like them. I like the Cardinals. Obviously, got a good wide receiver core for the most part. They got a pretty decent quarterback. I don't know where they're going to go, if they're going to keep Mr. Murray there. We'll see what happens with that. But LaFleur is going to be there. I think he's a pretty good play caller for the most part. But like I said, and with the Rams, with LaFleur, I thought they did a wonderful job of utilizing their tight end. I thought they did a wonderful job of utilizing their tight ends, their running game, and mixing formations. That's one thing for me as a quarterback who loves the quarterback position. I think, the ability for your offensive play callers to mix the formations. Not always so much about, giving the playmaker the ball. I think mixing the formations and kind of keeping the defense, especially the defensive coordinator, off balance. They use a lot of big, heavy sets. And I'd like to be honest, we said it before, I think the running game and the physical, physically dominating and outmatching your opponent is coming back to the NFL. The finesse game has been something that we've seen with not only Matt Ryan era, Tom Brady and those guys throwing the ball 50 times a game and things like that. I think, that's going to be a thing for the past for the most part, where we have the passing game dominated. I think we're getting back to physical football, running the ball, play action, and playing in the trenches. I don't know. Kevin was sick, but Klint, Kubiak, Las Vegas is not Atlanta. Look, I like I like the pick with them. I like the hiring of Klint Kubiak. I think he fits well in. And to be honest, he does a good job. I think he does a good job of mixing the play action pass with the running game. So I like Klint Kubiak in Las Vegas. What's going? Oh, the Texas boy, what's happening, man? How you doing, sir? Coach Chain. Y'all saw them today on the regulators. Did a pretty good job, like they always do. We play against Morris and Robinson. Yeah, we will. Is that? Oh, is that my girl, Asia? Hey, Asia girl. Jane said mixed formations, pre-snap motions, and play action were all missing greatly from the Falcons' offense. And like I said, that's why I love what the Falcons have done with their passing game. You got a number of things. That's one thing too with the what's his name? Engstrad or whatever the hell his name is, but Tanner. Engstrand for Tanner. He is actually a disciple, not only Michigan and the Harbaughs, but he is his disciple of Ben Johnson. So he understands, and you talk about Ben Johnson, it's the same Ben Johnson that was with the Detroit Lions. So he has obviously with Detroit, they run the ball and they use a lot of play action. And the Falcons bringing him in, being that he understands that type of the balance. He understands balance. He understands the importance of the running game and moving the quarterback in the pocket so you can, protect him a lot better. So I like it. I like it what the Atlanta Falcons are doing. They're doing a wonderful job also. But Gene, like I said, the play action, mixing the formations, the Falcons did not do a lot of that. So I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not worried about the Buccaneers at all and them signing and hiring, Zach Robinson to be the offensive coordinator. Is he trash? I wouldn't necessarily say he trash, but I like if they think Zach Robinson is as good as, as he is, if they think he is. Nah, bro. One of the main reasons why he put up a lot of numbers is because he had good talent. If it wasn't for Drake and a lot of these guys, the Kyle Pitts, the Bijan Robinson, having a damn good offensive line, Zach Robinson, his offense wouldn't have put up those numbers. Having guys like Darnell Mooney and whatnot, the first couple of years, those guys build him out. And that's why we're in the position. Vlad, what's going on, brother? Vlad Tippett, what's going on? I'm trying to tell others about Benson Prodigy and Mark and Frisco on the calendar. Honestly, I could care less about. Raheem going to San Francisco and something we have to worry about. I don't think he's that good of a defensive guy, especially when a guy come out and say, well, I'm not a defensive coach. I'm like, okay, whatever. But he's experienced. He's going to be a defensive coordinator. We'll see how that goes. But he is the defensive coordinator for the San Francisco 49ers. Is Raheem Morris. He signed with those guys, but he was, from what I understand, a finalist for the position in Arizona. So good luck to you, Raheem. No hatred, none of all that. Wish you well, but you just wasn't good enough. Ryan Smith, what's going on? I appreciate the membership, becoming a member. Also, Mike, if that defense is injured, nothing. I'm watching the coach stuff. It's a lot of stuff that's going on right now. Nothing we have to worry about. Raheem didn't know. Like I said, the defense. This is why I'm not worried about Raheem Morris, and I don't think any of us should be worried about Raheem. Okay, our defense wasn't great when he was here. Okay. Our defense, when he was great, and 15 wasn't great. In fact, the defense wasn't great at all. They told him, you know what? Yeah, you on the defense side of the ball. No, we're going to move you to the wide receiver room. Okay? That's what this team thought about Raheem in 16 year. They told him, yeah, we know you know a little bit about defense, but we gonna put you on the wide receivers core. Okay? See, this is why I'm not worried about him. I'm not worried about Raheem. The Falcons, he was the defense coordinator for the Falcons one time, and the Falcons said, nah, we good on that, pimp. You just go coach the wide receivers. Okay? So I'm not worried about Raheem. And then in 16, 17, our defense wasn't great at all. Okay? Our defense wasn't great. Okay, they was a bottom of the league in a lot of categories, but the Falcons got a lot of turnovers. And that's the thing about, this Atlanta Falcons under Raheem in 16. I can't say that there was, the defense was great, but, he has a history, Raheem does, of just being okay. And that's what you want. That's cool. That's cool for you. But I just don't see why anybody should be worried about or be, focused on the Falcons playing the 49ers, to be honest, because the way the 49ers looking and looking at their quarterback, paying their quarterback $20 million, and then you got to look at Brandon Ayuk once out. You have Big George. He tore his Achilles, so I don't know if he's going to be back. San Francisco may not be the same team. They may not be the same team. So I am not worried about San Francisco in no way, shape, or form. Like I said, look, man, shout out to Raheem for getting another job and bouncing back. It'll be all right, man. Well, the Falcons will be fine without him, and he'll be fine without the Falcons. Falcons should change the rules while coordinators are allowed to have a deal before the Super Bowl. No, because that hurts the NFL in its entirety. It actually hurts guys that are that want a new job. Okay, people that want a new job, like a Klint Kubiak, like a Kyle Shanahan, and it rewards teams that win Super Bowls. What I mean by that, they get to keep all the stud coaches. It's like you want parity, to be honest. So I think, in order to make it fair, not only for the coaches to make money, because I think Klint Kubiak deserves his money. I think Raheem Morris deserves his money. I believe that a lot of these guys that are coaches, the Mike LaFleur's, because these guys are not making millions of dollars as coaches. So if they have to wait till after the Super Bowl, it only helps the organization. It does nothing for the coach. So I don't agree with that at all. I think a coach should be able to take on a job or listen to any job they feel as though that's going to help them further their career. Because like I said, if let's just say, all right, let's just say San Francisco 49ers are always in the Super Bowl. Okay? For 4 years straight, 5 years straight, they just always in the Super Bowl. They got the best coaches in the league, but they're always in the Super Bowl. And then you got a struggling organization like the Cleveland Browns. They just looking for an opportunity to get some sort. They trying to get a coach that is very good at something. Okay, they want to hire that. They want to improve their organization. They want a Kyle Shanahan. They want, an up and coming, an established coach. They can't get established coach, because that team is always in the Super Bowl. So I think it's good for where it is. It's parity when you got these guys that are but they do have rules in place. It's not like these guys can't talk. But they have to get permit. One, they have to get permission, and two, they have to wait. All right, you got to submit to talk to a guy. They have to approve it, and then once they approve it, you can talk to their representative. So there are already, things in place, rules and regulations that are in place that help prevent a lot of things and help provide. So it's already there, man. But like, look, like I said, I think a lot of these big organizations that have a number of great coaches and a number of great players, like it only benefits those. Dirk Cutter said he wants to be a head coach in the NFL. I'm sure he does. When you ain't doing shit and you sitting at home because you suck, I'm sure you want to be a head coach. But I mean, if Dirk Cutter want to be a head coach, I don't know about the NFL, but I think he'll be a coach in college. I think that better suits him. I just don't think Dirk Cutter is a good coach, and I just don't think he's a good coach. But more power to him and feel like he wants it. I think everybody want that job. I think everybody wants a job in the NFL. But yeah. But like I said, wasn't gonna be long. But again, you have Kyle Shanahan, but you have Kyle Shanahan bringing in Raheem Morris as a defensive coordinator, or I should say, John Lynch is hiring him to be a defensive coordinator for losing Robert Saleh to the Tennessee Titans. He's the head coach of Tennessee Titans. And then you have Mike LaFleur is expected to be the head coach. They're also, according to a number of sources, where is it? You got Mike LaFleur is expected to be the head coach of the Arizona Cardinals. Again, Raheem Morris to the 49ers to be the defensive coordinator. And Klint Kubiak is expected to be the head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. So, it's been some big news, some good news. This has been interesting. This is an interesting tweet. So, the 2016 Falcon coaching staff, I think this is interesting. This has been put out by Myles Garrett. He says the Falcons 2016 coaching staff, all listen to this. Dan Quinn, he's the head coach of the Washington Commanders. Kyle Shanahan, head coach of the 49ers. Matt LaFleur, head coach of the Green Bay Packers. Mike LaFleur, head coach in Cardinals. You got Mike McDaniel, the offensive coordinator for the Chargers. You got Raheem Morris expected to be the defensive coordinator for the 49ers, and Jeff Olbrich, the defense coordinator. So that is really interesting in its own right. I thought that was pretty freaking. Thought that was pretty cool. But again, man, shout out to Raheem Morris for bouncing back and getting a defensive coordinator job. But that's all I got to say about that, man. Y'all stay tuned. We're going to be going live again at 5 o'clock here on, excuse me, let me rephrase that. It will be on 6MK, and your boy himself, ATL Sports Endgame 1. We got something coming up for you guys. So hit that subscribe button. Continue to support your boy right here at Man Mike Sports for more NFL news around the league. I'm out. Peace.